back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinides and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. In Massachusetts, children younger than 5 years old could begin getting their COVID vaccinations as soon as the end of February. If the Food and Drug Administration approves the emergency authorization request on Tuesday, then children will be able to get vaccinations almost immediately. With this approval, the 2-shot vaccine for children under 5 will be the first available to very young children. The Pfizer vaccine was first authorized by the CDC for use in children ages 5 to 12 years old on November 2nd of 2021. Current statistics show the vaccination rate for school-aged children between the same age group is still pretty low. In 112 communities, the vaccination rate for school-aged children is 33% and below, while in 155 communities, it's between 34 and 66%. Only in 74 communities is the vaccination rate for school children higher than 65%. The City of Boston has made a new proposal to city employees who have failed to comply with its COVID-19 vaccination mandate. The new proposal would have a testing option given that certain public health criteria are met. According to a draft of a proposed labor agreement, city employees would have the option to provide proof of 2 negative COVID-19 tests every week instead of proof of COVID-19 vaccination, as long as Boston is not experiencing a surge in COVID cases and hospitalizations. The benchmarks that are set in the proposal include a community COVID-19 positivity rate of greater than 5%, an intensive care unit occupancy rate greater than 95%, and a rate of more than 200 COVID-19 hospitalizations per day. COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations continue to decrease in Massachusetts from the peak of the Omicron surge. Last Friday, the Department of Public Health in Massachusetts reported 4,195 new coronavirus cases. That's down from the previous Friday when the state reported 7,181 new cases. The CDC reported that as of last Wednesday, nationwide cases are down 53.1% from their peak on January 15th. In Massachusetts, the number of hospitalized COVID-19 patients is roughly half of what it was in mid-January, but is still 3 times what it was in October. The CDC reports that community transmission is considered to be high across all of Massachusetts and 99% of all counties across the nation. The state is still monitoring and reporting health trends as cases continue to grow. From Friday's COVID report, over 91,000 molecular tests were conducted and 4,195 new positive cases were reported. Currently, 1,583 people are hospitalized in Massachusetts and 264 are in the ICU. 63 new deaths were also reported. This data does not include reports from the weekend. The town of Braintree will also continue to monitor COVID data from the state. Since our last update, Braintree Town Hall reported only 19 new COVID-19 cases. The Town Hall website currently shows 9,301 positive cases in total. There have been no new fatalities reported in 10 months, keeping Braintree's total deaths at 136. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
The COVID-19 vaccine is an important tool to protect yourself and your loved ones against COVID. Getting the vaccine can help us get back to doing the things we love most. Trust the facts. Get the vax.
Welcome back. Braintree Mayor Charles Kokoris told the town council last week that more police officers, better security cameras, improvements to police radio communications, and a relocated police substation are some of the measures planned to improve security at the South Shore Plaza after a fatal shooting last month. The mayor and Braintree police officials have had ongoing discussions with mall owner Simon Property Group on security improvements following the death of a man due to the mall shooting. 2 Braintree police officers will be added to the mall's patrol contingent, bringing it to 4 officers and a supervisor. Kokoris said he expects an agreement to be completed in a couple of weeks, saying, quote, "The safety of all who come through the doors of the South Shore Plaza is paramount," end quote. Chief of Staff to Braintree Mayor Kokoris, Nicole Taub, told the Town Council's Ways and Means Committee that due to increased labor and material costs, the latest cost estimates for the Tri-Town project have risen to $78.7 million. The long-sought regional water treatment plant is to be built next to the existing Braintree water treatment plant. The new plant would replace Braintree's plant as well as the Randolph-Holbrook treatment plant across Great Pond. The town of Braintree has already approved $33.7 million for this project. Taub said the towns of Braintree, Randolph, and Holbrook are asking for a low-interest loan through the state for the project, and one of the requirements for the financing is that all the funding is already in place. Taub said she is hopeful that when the bids for the project are opened in June, the price will come down. The Ways and Means Committee voted unanimously to recommend the request to the full council. Braintree's public health nurse will be resuming weekly blood pressure clinics in the nurse's office located on the lower level of the Braintree Town Hall. The clinic will be held on Tuesdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and on Fridays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Braintree High School is adding a co-ed rugby team this spring. The team's creation was proposed last year and organized by Braintree High School senior Joe Driscoll, who says he got 25 students to sign a petition to create the team. The school committee unanimously approved adding the sport at its meeting last week. And now there's more than 30 interested students for what will be a 23-person roster. Braintree High will field its first varsity rugby team this spring, joining other local schools in competing in the sport. Athletic Director Chris Coblin said the team will cost around $9,200 to run. The money to pay for the team will come from the student athletic fees, gifts to Braintree Athletics, and an unused junior varsity cheer coach stipend. Coblin said Driscoll's ability to foster a new team that creates an avenue for more students to play a sport embodies what it means to have a passion for athletics. The Thayer Public Library will be hosting some events in the coming week. First up is Valentine Take and Make Craft on Tuesday, February 8th. You can come to the children's room at the Thayer Library for a bag with supplies to take and make a Valentine craft at home. It will be available from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. while supplies last. Then on Wednesday, February 9th, you can join Yoga for Little Ones with experienced yoga instructor Jennifer Lynn to stretch and breathe deep. Jennifer returns for weekly sessions of mindfulness, relaxation, and simple yoga poses for little ones. This class will be fun and engaging for ages 2 and up. Please bring a yoga mat, towel, or use a library carpet square. The program is free, but registration is encouraged. And finally, on Saturday, February 12th, Coding for ages 5 through 8 is a Coding for Kids program taught by a local computer professor to show some ways kids can learn coding. Children must be registered ahead of time, and parents are automatically included if they want to stay during the presentation. To register for these events or for more information, you can call the Children's Room at 781-848-0405. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
The COVID-19 vaccine doesn't contain the virus, so you can't get COVID from the shot. You may experience things like muscle aches, fever, or tiredness, but these are most likely signs that your body is building immunity to protect against the virus. Learn more.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into stories around Massachusetts and the South Shore. Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian sent a letter to U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland on Friday, repeating his call for the Justice Department to prosecute unruly passengers and place them on a no-fly list. In the letter, Bastian says, quote, "We are requesting you support our efforts with respect to putting any person convicted of an on-board disruption on a national, comprehensive, unruly passenger no-fly list that would bar that person from traveling on any commercial air carrier. This action will help prevent future incidents and serve as a strong symbol of the consequences of not complying with crew member instructions on commercial aircraft." End quote. Bastian first called for a no-fly list in September in a memo to employees. President Joe Biden said in October that he has instructed the Justice Department to address rising violence on airplanes as some passengers are resistant to mask requirements and have threatened airline staff. Boston police officer John O'Keefe will be laid to rest in Braintree on Monday, the town where he grew up. O'Keefe was born in Braintree and graduated from Braintree High School. O'Keefe then graduated from Northeastern University and the University of Massachusetts, where he earned a master's degree in criminal justice. Norfolk County District Attorney's Office said O'Keefe died during last Saturday's blizzard after being struck by a car driven by his girlfriend, Karen A. Reed of Mansfield. She was arraigned in Stoughton District Court Wednesday and pleaded not guilty to manslaughter, leaving the scene of a motor vehicle collision causing death, and motor vehicle homicide. She was released on $50,000 cash bail. A funeral mass will be held at St. Francis of Assisi Church on Washington Street in Braintree on Monday. Boston Police Superintendent-in-Chief Gregory Long, in a statement, said, quote, "John was a kind person dedicated to his family and will be greatly missed by his coworkers and anyone who had the privilege of meeting him." End quote. A man is dead after a shooting at a Brockton condominium complex. The victim was found suffering from multiple gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene. Brockton police said the shooting happened earlier Saturday morning on Anna Drive. Detectives were investigating near the stairwell at the front entrance of 21 Anna Drive, one of the condo buildings in the complex. Plymouth County District Attorney Tim Cruz said the shooting does not appear to be a random act of violence, though no arrests in connection with the shooting have been announced. Brockton police said the DA's office may release further information about the shooting once there are more developments in the case. The shooting is currently being investigated by Brockton police detectives and detectives assigned to Cruz's office. The Weymouth Food Pantry is taking mobile food pantry models to the next level by outfitting a school bus to serve as a walk-in pantry, making it the first pantry bus in the state, and will allow the nonprofit to reach households in need regardless of distance or isolation. Weymouth Food Pantry Executive Director Pamela Denholm said the idea for the bus came about during a discussion about the pandemic and getting food to people while staying socially distant. The pantry ultimately went to a drive-through model, but knew the bus concept would be useful going forward. Denholm said the pantry recently moved from being a brick-and-mortar pantry to a mobile model that includes pop-ups in neighborhoods around town. The bus will further support that effort. Weymouth Mayor Robert Hedlund said that he will use Federal American Rescue Plan Act money for the project. The bus will be retrofitted this summer and will include wall-to-wall shelving, refrigerator and freezer units, and storage for at least 3,000 pounds of food. Pop-up pantries are held from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Tuesdays at the First Church in Weymouth, and on Thursdays at Crossroads Worship Center and Saturdays at Old South Union Church. Teens involved in the town of Weymouth's Youth Workforce Development Program is said to be benefiting its youth from its training opportunities. The Weymouth Youth and Family Services Organization recently received $100,000 for a youth workforce development program under a $4 billion state spending bill that was approved by lawmakers. Director of the youth organization, Kathy Collins, said the money would help them hire 20 teens to work in various departments. High school sophomore Jasdish Singh is one of many that began working at the organization and said he works for the Weymouth Teen Center fixing computers used by the teens to make sure they work correctly. Singh said he is configuring a new computerized printer for use by Weymouth Youth and Family Services Director Kathy Collins. Singh said, quote, "I plan on working in computer technology management or something like that. I might plan to work for the town," end quote. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
When the COVID pandemic began, scientists had been studying similar viruses for years, so they had a head start creating this vaccine. They also started making the vaccine early, hoping it would be approved after clinical trials found it was safe and effective. Learn more.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Today in entertainment, we have a Netflix series filming in Massachusetts, a reboot of a popular 90s show, the finale to a long-standing series, and a program that may want to renovate your home. The town of Braintree is getting more of the Hollywood treatment as another production films in town. A television crew was spotted at Ashley's restaurant on Washington Street in South Braintree Square last Thursday to shoot a scene for the final season of the AMC comedy Kevin Can F Himself. Crews were busy outside the diner setting up lights, video monitors, and electrical equipment on the sidewalk. The show, set in Worcester, Mass., follows the story of Allison Roberts, the typical put-upon wife who revolts against her life, and her man-child husband who mostly plays video games and drinks brews with his bros. Season 1 of Kevin was also shot on the South Shore last February at the Common Market restaurants in Quincy, as well as locations in Brockton, Milton, Hingham, and Worcester. Next in entertainment, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, starring Will Smith, is one of the most beloved sitcoms of all time. Now comes Bel-Air, a dramatic retelling of the 1990s sitcom and a full-blown reimagining of the Fresh Prince story. Jabari Banks leads the cast as a modern-day Will Smith. Bel-Air will be available to watch on NBC Universal's Peacock streaming platform on February 13th. The first 3 episodes will be released simultaneously, with subsequent entries arriving weekly after that. Next, after a 4-month hiatus, the final season of The Walking Dead is finally returning this month. Fans of AMC's The Walking Dead will finally get to see what happens after that semi-cliffhanger ending in episode 8 of season 11. Season 11 is the last season of the series. The next 8 episodes are coming to AMC and Disney Plus on February 20th. And finally, in entertainment, HGTV is on the hunt for several historical homes on the South Shore to feature in the second season of its hit series, Houses with History. The series follows Plimpton couple designer Jen McDonald and historian Mike Lameau, owners of Full Circle Homes, and carpenter Rich Soares as they refurbish historical but dilapidated homes on the South Shore. Producers are in search of antique or colonial homes in need of renovation within 30 miles of Plymouth. Homes should also be built prior to 1900, and homeowners will need to pay a renovation budget of at least $125,000. Renovations will focus on 5 to 6 spaces in each home, and homeowners must be willing to vacate during the project. To apply, go to www.highnoontv.com/casting and fill out the 52-question form that asks about your favorite memories of your home and what renovation projects might be off-limits and must-haves. That does it for entertainment. Thank you for watching Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinedes, and that's all we have for news today. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.